What's up everybody, Eric here with another EUE Reviews. Today we're talking about Barbie. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you want me to review next. But yeah, it's the second of our Barbenheimer double feature. So yeah, today we're talking about Barbie. I probably will make another video to say which of the two movies I preferred. I just don't want to put that all here, just because I don't want to make this video too long. So yeah, title of the film is Barbie. It is a fantasy comedy film with release date of July 21st, 2023. The director is Greta Gerwig. The cast includes Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, America Ferrera, and Will Ferrell. There's a bunch of other supporting cast, but I don't want to list everyone because there's so many of them, so sorry to everyone I didn't actually list. With a runtime of 114 minutes. So it was shy of 2 hours, and I thought it was the perfect length for it. Could have been a little shorter, but it was still fine at that. I watched this in Dolby format, and it does not have any post-credits. So, the plot of this movie is that Barbie's in Barbie Land, and out of nowhere she starts having these weird thoughts of death, and I guess things have been changing for her, things start going weird. She ends up talking to somebody, and they tell her she needs to go to the real world to find the person that is playing with her and see what's going on with their link in order to fix herself. So that's the basic premise of this movie. Barbie gets into the real world, Ken tags along, and they end up having this weird adventure where weird things happen afterwards, shenanigans and things like that. And I'll go into it right now. But yeah, that's the basic idea. So let's actually now move into my thoughts on the movie. So let's just start off with the bad, because there are some bad stuff here, but it's not overly bad where I'm like, it ruins the movie. Thank God it's not like that. The third act, so anything I say right now, trust me, it's just a little bit nitpicky. This isn't anything that takes any quality away from the movie. The third act, I think, had a weird thing where Barbie's there, but Margot Robbie's Barbie. There's a bunch of Barbies and a bunch of Kens. But our main Barbie, I don't actually want to say what she is as the Barbie, because that would be, I think, a spoiler. But Margot Robbie Barbie is kind of sidelined in the third act a little bit. She does show up like near the end of it, but for like a good part of it, she's not really the main focus of it, which I did find a little bit weird. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm like, you have Margot Robbie utilize her a little bit more. Another weird thing is, as much as I love the Barbie character in the movie, it's weird that when I think about like the biggest moments of the movie, Ken gets those. I'm not sure if that's intentional or what that's supposed to mean, but Ken has a lot of the big hilarious moments, the moments that might go on with you for the rest of the movie, unlike the big message that's in one of the acts. Ken has a lot of those, and I'm just like, I kind of wish one of the Barbies would have had that instead of Ken. And another thing, and this is more because of the premise of the movie, they kind of make it seem like there's going to be more in the real world when there really isn't all that much. They're not in the real world for long, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, and that's really all I can say that was bad. I thought this movie was done really well. So let's move on to the good. Margot Robbie nails the role of Barbie. I originally remember hearing that Amy Schumer was meant to do this role, but I do not think that Amy Schumer would have worked for the movie that they actually presented. Maybe if there was a different version of it, maybe Schumer works for that. But for this version of the movie, Margot Robbie seems to be like, no, they wrote this with her in mind, and a lot of things were generated towards her. Again, I don't know what Schumer's cut of the movie would have been like, but there's no way it was set like this, and there's no way it would have felt the same with her. It's a great supporting cast as well. I was very surprised of who were the people that they ended up getting, and they put them in the movie. A lot of people that you are recognizable. Not like super crazy big stars, but still good big stars at the moment, and I thought they nailed that pretty well. I did like the ending talking about self-identity and figuring out who you are and knowing when to walk away from relationships and start a new chapter. I really think that worked really well. And I think Gosling does an amazing job as Ken. Like, there are moments where I actually feel for the character where I'm like, yeah, when I really think about his struggle, I'm like, yeah. But I can also flip that and be like, that's also something that happens to actual women in the real world too. So I really like the way that they used him. I thought he was perfect for this role, as well as Margot Robbie. I think they both work off each other really well. One thing to note, and I think this is that they're really, in the trailers, you notice like he's the one in love with her, and I do like how they end up using this codependence of like he doesn't have his own identity without her. I really thought that was really smart for this. Now, the last thing that I'd say is really good about this film is the message that the film has. This has a very powerful message for, I want to say, feminism. And a lot of people are probably going to be angry about feminism, but I'm someone that I consider myself a feminist. And I thought this did a really good job of highlighting, hey, we should also be highlighting our females in the world as well. Even when we have like this thing of seeing, oh, or who are the people in charge of Barbie? It's a bunch of men. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of true how it works in the real world. And a lot of people are going to find offense to that, but to me, it's like, no, they're trying to show a representation of how the real world works and how Barbie Land works. And I really enjoyed how that worked. The movie is not what you expect. Just seeing the trailer, I would say the trailer makes you think it's one thing, but the movie actually takes like a kind of serious tone by the third act, and you start to feel for these characters, and you're like, oh crap, this is not what I thought I signed up for. And I think that gives it a very big edge over a bunch of other movies that maybe could have been similar to this, but it worked really well. I highly recommend people go watch this. I think it's really good. I think for men and women, I think this gives a good message to everyone. So let's move on to my score. Now, this one's one where I was kind of wrestling with, like, how did I feel about this? But I actually think it's a great movie, so I'm giving this an 8 out of 10 for great. Could I have gone higher? It really depends on, like, for me, I always think, like I always say, comedy is very subjective. So some of the jokes did land for me. There were some that didn't, so that's why I got to go 8 out of 10 great. Still, it's probably one of the best movies to watch this summer. Like, you guys have been seeing, if you've been watching my reviews, there's been a couple movies where I'm like, we'll see. But yeah, this is what a great 8 out of 10. I definitely recommend you go watch this. Does this need to be watched in theaters? I'm not sure. That is one thing I'll give this over Oppenheimer over this. Oppenheimer needs to be seen in theaters. This, I think, it'd be good for, like, if you go see it. Like, it's crazy how many people are actually at the theater going and watch it. So it's like an event. So I definitely recommend people go watch it in theaters. Is it absolutely necessary to get the message in this movie? No. But I think it'd be fun to go watch this in theaters. I definitely recommend you go see that in theaters. All right, so that's it for this movie. Next thing to say is the next movie review is going to be for Haunted Mansion. I'm going to go watch that Thursday afternoon. Hopefully get the review up by Friday. I'm hoping that's a fun one. And after that, next week, I'm watching the Ninja Turtles movie. So hopefully some good reviews coming out soon, good movies. So far, I've been having a fun time watching these this summer. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.